Britain has the youngest army in Europe. No other European country allows its citizens to join the army at 16 before they can legally drive or cast a vote. Now on Radio 4, Penny Marshall follows a group of young recruits through their year of training at the Army Foundation College in Harrogate to find out what happens to Britain's teenagers who sign up at 16.
Get his knees up.
Compared to Civilian Street, obviously now I've just had the recession and jobs are not going for 16-year-olds, so my friends are going to sixth form and that's not what I want to do.
Get his knees up.
And like when I'm older I don't want to be stuck in some 9-to-5 job or an office desk. That's not me. I'm an outdoors person, an adventure and go, go, go. I'm not sit back and paperwork person.
It's going to make me a better person, so I'm not only doing this for myself, I'm doing it for my daughter, my girlfriend and my family.
Have you ever watched the film Men of Honour? That's one of my main inspirations. That proper pushed me towards the army.
The voices of some of our youngest trainee soldiers, 16-year-olds who've signed up to the British Army. Their age means they're too young to legally drink or drive, yet as junior soldiers they'll be trained to handle a rifle. My teenage daughter's 16 and can sometimes scarcely get out of bed in the morning. So I'm keen to understand what it takes to turn a teenager into a soldier who'll be ready to fight and, if necessary, to die for their country.
What I want you to do is all of you look at Corporal Jarman for the correct position of attention.
The British Army's main training centre for young recruits is the Army Foundation College in Harrogate, on the edge of the Yorkshire Dales. It's a large purpose-built red brick campus that was set up 15 years ago.
The thumb running down the seam of the trousers. Can everyone see that? Yes, Sergeant!
Here, training consists of a gruelling 42-week course which teaches the recruits how to handle a standard issue rifle, how to survive in the field, military studies, as well as sports and some MVQ level education. For those who make it through, this will be the first stepping stone in an army career. So long as they've turned 18, the front line could be a matter of months away.
Remember, knee parallel to the ground at a 45-degree angle. Look at me, everyone. Yeah?
Guys, find your voices when you're asked a question, start answering, yeah?
Yes, Corporal! Listen then. Platoon! Standard! Ace! One!
In this series, I'll be following 7 Platoon Cambrai Company, one of 2 mixed-sex platoons at the college.
So, that's platoon 10. 10 platoon, if you keep going up the stairs, top floor.
I'm watching recruits who've just said goodbye to their parents and are obviously completely forgotten about them within moments. Most of them have got ironing boards which are bigger than they are in one hand, huge holders across their shoulders, and they're all going up into their new accommodation. Accommodation fit for soldiers and not for teenagers.
On the first day of term, I'm keen to find out more about the civilian lives these young recruits are leaving behind.
Any more 7?
I start with the girls.
What do you think of your accommodation then? It's like a ship's cabin, isn't it, really? It's tiny.
It's just
You got a desk,
a wardrobe and
bed. And how are you going to make this feel home? Have you got anything to put up that makes it...
yeah, I've got some like photo albums and letters from friends and cards from friends and stuff like that.
You look as if you might have been a little bit tearful.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been emotional, but we got there.
Abby Kirk, 16 and from Slough. As a girl, she's part of a tiny minority here. About 4% of recruits are girls. So I wondered why she decided to join up.
My mum went out and went to some army tattoo and she got loads of literature for my brother and he just threw it in the drawer and didn't want anything to do with it. So I went through his drawers and found all his literature. I went, Mum, I want to go in the army. So it was kind of like spontaneous.
And how old were you then?
I was quite young, 12.
And have any of your friends joined as well? Any of your girlfriends?
No, none of them would do it. I'm the bit of an outcast of the group, so I'm always tracksuit, hair up, and they're all makeup, hair down. So I'm a bit of the opposite, but I've always wanted to do this and I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, someone always has something that means absolutely everything to them. This is everything to me.
What do you want to get out of the army then? In particular, the next 12 months here at Harrogate?
Just get a good trade in here and get as much knowledge, information and drive from here to take to phase 2 so I can just go in there and be the brightest light going, hopefully.
Did we get our kit tonight?
In one of the boys' rooms, I meet Trey Barrett from Birmingham. He's just turned 17.
One size fits all.
Tell me what's going on here, because you seem to have quite a lot of stuff on the floor, which I'm not sure is very, very military.
Just packing everything away, get organised.
Go, you carry on, I'll talk to you while you do it. So what have you actually got then?
I think this is your rifle cleaning kit.
So it really must make it really feel like it's starting to be a reality.
Yeah, I just can't wait till I get my rifle.
Is that why you joined up?
I've wanted to do it all of my life because my cousin was in, and then it was just like an inspiration, and like all army films what I used to watch when I was a kid. Just thought, yeah, I want to do that one day, and now I'm finally here.
Have you got the discipline to
Yeah,
make a success of it? Because it's quite hard work, isn't it?
I know, but I think I can hack it. I hope so anyway.
I see you've got 2 bracelets on.
Yeah.
That's peace, isn't it? That one.
Yeah.
And what's that one?
That's my good luck charm. It's like a religious one. Got it from the church by me.
And you got some tattoos. Do they mean anything? Or being made? That's peace too.
Peace, yeah.
But you were terribly excited about holding a rifle.
Yeah.
So
but
this is really.
Yeah, but that's what the army's about, making peace in different countries, isn't it? Really, peacekeeping and everything. So
peace and war go kind of hand in hand, do you think?
Yeah, because that's what you're doing, and you're making peace. Well, trying to make peace.
And what are your friends doing?
My friends are all older than me, like 19, 20, and they're all on the dole. So that was another reason to push me forward towards the army. I handed out about 100 CVs, and no one got back to me whatsoever. And I had like all right GCSEs as well.
You've been good at school, so you got good GCSEs.
I wasn't good at school. I got kicked out, but I did get good GCSEs.
What would have happened if you hadn't joined, do you think?
I'd be doing the same stuff as all my mates, just doing nothing every day, chilling and taking drugs, because that's all what they do.
Anything you're particularly nervous about?
I used to have bad anger, so people shouting in my face all the time, but I reckon I should be able to hack it because I've learnt to control it, so that's the only thing I'm kind of nervous about, because if I slip up, I'll probably get kicked out, so that's it.
Stop talking on the stairs!
It's 6 o'clock and the teenage recruits are being marched to the canteen for their first evening meal, or scoff as they call it here.
Yeah, follow me. No.
Stop talking! To keep up, they're being moved forward so fast. And this lot is about 60 of the new recruits. And this lot look very frightened. Stop talking!
I'll tell you on which area to sit in. It should be lettered all the way from A through to E. And we will say sit in area A or sit in area B. You got that?
Yes, sir.
I don't think that any of them yesterday would have approached their evening meal in exactly that fashion, being told where to put their plates, where to sit. It's quite a climate change in 24 hours.
Stop talking!
I think they've had quite an easy life so far, certainly for some of them anyway. You know, mum and dad have always done the washing up for them, cooked the meals, and ironed the clothes, and suddenly you get here and you're expected to be an adult straight away.
Captain Will Sutton is the commander of 7 Platoon. Over scoff, he tells me how he's preparing these teenagers for their army lives.
I would say to the young junior soldier, weeks 1 to 6 are the hardest. You know, it's a sort of shock of capture, really. They've never done 10, 12 hour working days, and suddenly they're having to worry about polishing the boots, pressing the kit, moving from one lesson to another, really busy, and their heads are crammed with information, so it's hard for them, and of course you get homesickness a little bit as well.
What Captain Sutton calls this first shock of capture is the hardest phase, with personal freedom severely restricted. Imagine having to deal with hundreds of teenagers who for the first time in their lives have had their mobile phones taken away. The recruits only have about an hour's free time each day, and they work through the weekends. And for the first 6 weeks, there are no visits home either.
It's a tough start, but it really gets them on the toes, ready for the rest of the year.
Oh, she's lovely. Look, I'm looking at a picture of an absolute poppet of a baby and a little baby grow with stars all over it. She's dark hair though, isn't she? She's got a full head of hair. So you'll really miss her, won't you?
Yeah, I will, yeah. But it's for the best, I suppose, really.
So you think it will have a better future in the army providing for her?
Yeah, definitely a better future, yeah.
Jordan Kissack from Sheffield is 17, and his baby daughter Isabella is just a few weeks old. Becoming a father so young was part of his motivation for joining up.
I can't get a job because I got expelled from school because I always used to fight a lot. And also I can get my grades back here, so it's like a second chance of life, really. And I just want what's best for my daughter, and it's a good career.
So what would you do if you didn't join the army?
If I'm honest, I'd probably be in prison. If I'm honest with you, because that's the way I was going, because my girlfriend's brother, he did a lot of drug dealing, so I didn't think there was nothing better because I couldn't get a job, so I thought that I'd go and join the naughty side, which by that time I just realised that I don't want to do that. It's a better career than going in prison.
What are the chances that you won't make it, do you think, through this? Because some people don't make it, they don't like it, or it's too tough for them.
Well, like I said, it's going to make me a better person, so I'm not only doing this for myself, I'm doing it for my daughter, my girlfriend and my family. Because from how I've seen myself to how I've even seen myself just for these past hours, I can see a change already. There's going to be a big change, so...
And if I was to put a mirror up in front of you, would you be looking at a soldier or a civilian?
No, I'll still be looking at a civilian yet, because I've got a lot more training to do, and I can see myself being a soldier, but I know I'm not a soldier yet. But yeah, I can see myself being a soldier.
Good morning, fellas. 6 o'clock, get up. Morning, fellas. Time to get up, get out your pits. Let's go.
Next morning, waking up the junior soldiers for the first time, Corporal Nathan Cole and Corporal Sheridan Lucas are showing no mercy.
Morning, ladies. Come on, let's get up. Come on, why the male's there and you're not? Hurry up.
Once the recruits have got dressed, they stagger into the corridor to stand on what they call the line, ready for their first morning inspection.
Same as with you, you've got all like little bits of hair going down the side of your chin. Okay, so you've missed little bits underneath your chin, alright? Same as you, you've got dark bits at the back here where you've missed it, okay? So before now you go over with your hands, make sure that you've got everything. It saves a lot of pain and sweat later.
Inspecting their chins very closely. Been pretty tough.
Okay, female, step back.
Okay,
stand still when you're on the line.
Lads, listen in. Obviously, what did I say yesterday on the shaving lesson? I would catch the majority of you out by Thursday. Well done for the new world record of being caught out the next day. Okay? You need to really pay attention to your faces, fellas. Otherwise, it's going to cost you later on. Okay? Understand?
Yes, Corporal.
Hi. Hi, Kashi. Nice to meet you. Hello. Grab seats, please.
Lieutenant Colonel Kashi Sharifi is the commanding officer here at the Army Foundation College. I met him to find out more about how the training process works.
In the last 24 hours, I've seen these very young junior soldiers being told to do everything. You can't even put something in the litter bin without their permission, and this is how you'll shower, and this is when you'll do it, and you stand there. And it's almost as if their initiative is being stripped from them in the process. What's that about when everything is stripped away so that they can't do anything without asking permission?
Well, it's a 42-week process, and the initial part of the training package is to turn them from a civilian to a basic soldier. And the first element of that is an understanding of a sort of core discipline. We have a core set of values, and one of them is discipline. Now, initially, the basic building blocks are understanding imposed discipline, and that develops into self-imposed discipline. So the initial program and where we have to get, bearing in mind we have a lot of people, is to make them a transition from an individual civilian through to being part of a team and a cohesive team, and discipline and doing things together. That's the purpose of it. And you will see as we go through this them develop and grow into very, very different people.
They come from an environment where everything's got to be about them. It's thinking about yourself and what you need to achieve.
Regimental Sergeant Major Carl Gardiner is the college's chief disciplinarian.
When they come in, we change their mindfold from that into thinking more of the team, all of one company, and making sure that everyone works together for everybody, not just themselves. But it is challenging getting that selfishness away from them.
What's on that? What's on it? Mud. That's mud.
Teaching these teenagers to work as a team is at the core of the training process, as is strictly enforced discipline.
1 sergeant, 2 sergeant, 3 sergeant.
So how are Jordan Kissack and Trey Barrett coping?
7 sergeant, 3 sergeant.
Things I've had to do is like basically just like normal tier 1, which is like 10 press ups, and then I've had to do other things which is like essays, because I got caught on my phone, so I got disciplined for that, and then I had to write an essay, and if it weren't perfect then I get ripped up.
The discipline's kind of hard, just being like screamed at all the while, and it's just like the same thing really. You're just like, you're not your own person, you're like taking orders from people and that.
10 sergeant, 11 sergeant, 12 sergeant, 13 sergeant.
I don't know if punishment's a word we're allowed to use anymore. What are the ways you deal with that now?
We've got discipline guidelines. Basically that's called like a red card, and it has what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. We try and retrain people, but we are allowed to give like a few press ups, that type of stuff, but a lot of the time we just try and point out where they've gone wrong, why they've gone wrong, and people learn from the mistakes. People are here to make mistakes, and it's important that they do make mistakes while they're here, and get all the mistakes done before they start moving on to the bigger, wider army world.
Free section, get your kit. Come over here. Hurry up.
There's no rest, and 2 weeks into training, the junior soldiers are now out on exercise in the Yorkshire Dales.
Okay, there's a little saying then you have to write down, okay? My weapon, my kit, myself. My weapon, my kit, myself. That is the priority order.
The staff are giving the recruits their first taste of army life in the field. Captain Will Sutton again.
It's 36 hours, it's only one evening out in the field, and we get them out here, we teach them how to cook and feed on the rations. We teach them how to make a 2-man shelter with the poncho over their heads. We'll also teach them just a few basic bits about camouflage, patrolling as well, how to patrol tactically, and just give them that's general introduction to how to operate outside.
When you put your poncho up, make sure that you walk on the outside and you're not trying to climb over your bungees, because I guarantee if you catch it, it's going to twang off and it's going to hurt you.
They've been used to living at home, they've had the Xbox, they've had X Factor on a Saturday night, being able to go out with the mates and come home and sleep in a comfortable bed. Suddenly you're living out in a woodblock and you've got to cook your own rations and carry it all day. They'll learn sleep deprivation, having to go on sentry duty in the middle of the night for a couple of hours and then get back to sleep. So they're just getting that initial test today, but we'll keep ramping it up all the time, gradually developing them, and we'll see how the real characters stand out.
Fellas, again, okay? Personal hatred of mine is putting your weapons up against your trees. I can't stand it, okay? 1, it looks unprofessional, and 2, it can be... Hey, am I boring you? Suggest you start switching on, fella. You're going to suffer, alright? At the moment, it's a bit chaotic. Obviously, it's the first time they've ever done it before. We know how we want it. They sort of don't understand how we want it, so they do their own little thing, so we've just got to try and keep on top of them and get it into some sort of order, which is a bit hard at the moment. As I said before, fellas, personal hatred of mine, weapons getting up against your trees, looking when I'm talking.
Got to obviously break them, well, say break them, it might be the wrong word to say, but obviously change them from what they are, teenagers, into actually men, you could say.
Not good enough, fellas, not good enough at all.
No one really wants to change unless it's forced upon them, and that's what you've got to try and do. You've got to try and get it in that way.
We'll all go for a nice run somewhere, and you lot can get sweaty, alright? Okay, start switching on.
I don't know which one's which.
Well, what does it say on it?
This one says
Let's
lima
have a think
beans
about
pasta.
this. Are you going to cook fruit cocktail? No. Are you going to cook muesli?
Yeah, but I do not. No.
You're going to cook muesli?
No.
No. Are you going to cook? What's this?
Beans.
Beans. Bean salad.
Yeah.
Are you going to cook bean salad?
Yeah.
Do you normally cook salad?
No.
No. What else have you got in there?
Captain Catherine Ferguson is helping Trey get to grips with his unfamiliar ration packs.
That's your lunch. That's your breakfast. You haven't
Oh.
got anything to cook for your breakfast. Sometimes you don't have
Oh,
something to cook.
do you just boil the water?
No, it's muesli.
cold
We eat
water.
it cold.
Oh. I've never had muesli before, so.
Dawn's breaking, and the junior soldiers have spent their first night out in the field under their ponchos. And Abby Kirk is starting to feel the pressure.
I'm really tired. I had to get up twice last night and do an hour of stag. To protect the area that we're sleeping in, we have to, 2 people have to stay awake to make sure that everyone's safe. And I was up at 5:30 this morning and I just got into bed literally. So yeah, really tired right now. At times you're just like, oh, I don't want to do it, but it's still part of the process, so just got to grin and bear it really.
I've never done anything like this before, so I guess it's just like baby steps at the moment.
Jordan Kissack is also feeling it this morning and having to deal with the added stress of missing his daughter.
My girlfriend sent a picture of the little baby when she was smiling, and I got a bit upset about that because it made me really miss her. But once these 6 weeks are up, I can go home on weekends and we get a week off, so I've just got to stick to it and get through these 6 weeks, and then everything will be alright after 6 weeks. It's just, these are probably hardest weeks, and if anybody says any different, well then they're lying, because it's really hard.
You get your helmet on, you get your weapon on, you carry your weapon. Get back, now.
Corporal Cole has been giving Jordan some advice.
He's got a young kid at the moment, not so dissimilar to most of the lads in the army. And I just explained how it was. There's nothing out there, and to leave this place and throw it all away, it's just pointless. There's nothing out there, and this is probably the best place that somebody in his situation is going to be.
Despite the interventions of Corporal Cole and Captain Sutton, 6 weeks later, Jordan left the college, one of the first to crack. He left under a cloud, having filed a complaint of physical abuse against one of the staff. His complaint was investigated, but came to nothing.
Hello, stranger.
Yeah, okay.
Very nice to see you again, John. Right. Great to see you.
I know, I haven't seen you for ages.
Look well.
After he'd left and the inquiry had finished, I tracked Jordan down to Sheffield to find out how it had all gone so wrong.
I was really homesick, and I wanted to come home because I missed Isabella, but I think it was the best thing for me to stay there so I could provide for my family, because like now, at the moment when we're not working, it is hard to bring a family up. So yeah, that's probably why I stuck it out longer than I thought I would have.
So how did it go wrong?
Well, I don't really like being told what to do, because I don't know, I just don't. The way I see it, if you give respect out, then you'll get it back, and it's like trying to make a dog do something and treating it bad. It's just going to be scared of you. It's not going to listen to you. So because they didn't treat you nice, and I understand that they've got to teach you discipline, but it's like me, I don't shout at Isabella because she don't need to be shouted at. So that's what they didn't do in army. They just basically took all the anger out on you from their own. So basically I was just trying to carry it on as much as I could until I physically and emotionally couldn't no more. So
Do you think you were too young to make a decision, to know what you wanted?
Well, yeah, because going in army at 16, that's like living a dream where you say, oh yeah, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a soldier. Like Isabel says she wants to be a fairer. That's just like, for a 16-year-old, I want to be a soldier. And I think that's what happened to me. I got put in an adult environment, I weren't mature, and I were getting told what to do by adults.
So do you feel in some ways you failed, or do you think the organisation failed you?
Yeah, I think it's both, to be honest. If I were a stronger person, then I'd have tried sticking it out and getting through it. But I think my emotions let me down. And that's what I mean. If I didn't have Isabella, there wouldn't have been an issue, there wouldn't have been no homesickness. I'd probably not be talking to you now, I'd be at my base.
Today, the junior soldiers have reached their first staging post, the passing in parade. Those who've made it will be inspected by the commanding officer in front of their family and friends and put on their college rank slide, which marks their transition from civilian to military personnel. Then they'll take a well-deserved week of leave. Abby and Trey have both stuck it out, and Abby's mother Debbie and her school friend Sarah are here to support her. And Debbie's bought the college photo.
And this is Abby in her green shirt and green jumper.
But they said they weren't doing it.
And she's holding her A2, which she's very proud of.
You could tell. It's a rifle. Yeah. And it says AFC Harrogate at the bottom in gold. She looks very proud there, doesn't she? Huge smile.
Huge, yeah.
Number 7, dress forward!
You're doing your GCSEs, Sarah?
I'm doing my A-levels at the moment. I'm the exact same age as Abby, so the difference between what Abby's doing and what I'm sitting in the classroom doing lessons and she's out in the field shooting guns, it's amazing how different it is, but it's what she wants to do, so I take my hat off to her, I really do.
Stand dress forward! Still, carry it on!
It's been really stressful missing home and stuff, and it's been quite hard.
Still! Stand still! No, front rock!
But you just think how proud your family are going to be for the parade and just how hard I've worked to get there and what I've done to achieve to get there.
All right.
Senior officer has just arrived to inspect our junior soldiers in 7th Platoon, who are standing absolutely stock still, which I have to say is quite an undertaking for an hour in these temperatures.
2 hands is easier than 1, definitely. You're all over it. Well done. Got it on? That's it. Enjoy your leave. Right, there you go. Slide. Get on.
Our junior soldiers are certainly making their presence felt. It seems a long time ago, those 6 weeks, and looking at their faces, I think they've felt every day of it.
Well done, Jesus!
As the junior soldiers march off the square to be reunited with their families, Trey Barrett's mother Jill is overwhelmed.
So proud and extremely surprised.
Why surprised?
Because he seems to be enjoying it so much and he's so positive. He's really taken to it. So, very proud.
They're setting off on such a dangerous journey, though. Doesn't that fill you with fear?
We haven't reached that stage yet, and I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. It's the only thing I can say at the moment.
About it, do they really?
No, not unless I have to. When I have to, then I'll have to find a way to deal with it.
For now, the battlefields feel a long way away. Today it's all about celebrating the achievements of getting this far. And although the junior soldiers still have a long way to go, the process of transformation from teenage civilians into British Army soldiers is well underway.
And next week things get tough for Trey as the junior soldiers of 7 Platoon embark on their Realities of War tour. The programme was presented by Penny Marshall and produced by Melissa Fitzgerald. It was a Blakeway production for BBC Radio 4. Now, before we embark on a list of things that Kerry has to do, here's Julian Warwicker with his own itinerary.
Diana, good morning. When you use a price comparison site to look for something that isn't regulated like phones or selling your gold jewellery, how do you know what you see is what you are going to get? Well, today we'll hear from you and yours listeners who've fallen foul of one price comparison website which may